Hey guys, Wetmovie1 back here again for another Blu-ray DVD update video for you guys today. It's been about 3 weeks since my last one. Got a nice little stack of stuff here to talk to you guys about today. But before I get on to the first one here, please give this video a thumbs up if you guys like my videos in any way. And also drop a comment down below letting me know what kind of cool new DVDs and or Blu-rays you guys have been picking up recently and that you recommend me to check out. And but the first one up over here, I got here from Shout Factory or Scream Factory, is a horror anthology film I was really excited to see on Blu-ray, because I remember watching this movie on VHS back in the day, and then of course getting the DVD that was out of print for a long time until this came out. And this is the collector's edition of Tales from the Hood here on Blu-ray. Of course, it has new commissioned artwork on here, which I think looks amazing. And of course, the original artwork that I remember from like the VHS back in the day. But back in the day on the VHS, the cover, it had like a weird lenticular kind of thing going on when it comes to the sunglasses that are on the skeleton right there. But if you guys don't know what this film is, it's pretty much a horror anthology film that came out back in the mid-90s that circles around these three gang members who come across this funeral parlor, and they're on the hunt for these drugs that supposedly went missing in the hood, and these gang members go into this funeral parlor and come across this mortician that starts to tell them evil, creepy little stories, and then it cuts to those stories in a horror anthology way, and of course circles around back and forth with them in the parlor. But this one is actually it's not the best horror anthology movie out there, but I've always really liked it because it deals with a lot of social topics like racism and police brutality, and this movie is just actually a lot of fun. If you guys have never seen it before, if you guys love horror movies, it's like a different take on horror anthology ones. It doesn't really focus on gore that much as other movies do or anything like that. But I just really like this film. On this Blu-ray right here, you get a brand new HD transfer of the film, a making of featurette with some of the cast and crew members talking about the making of the movie, which is about close to an hour long, which I thought was kind of decent with like the director and writer and stuff talking about the film. And of course you get new audio commentary on here by the writer and producer, theatrical trailers, and you get the vintage featurette that was also on the DVD version of the film years back. But if you're a fan of the Tales from the Hood, just want to let you guys all know, that's on Blu-ray now, and it looks pretty good, man. And next up over here from Summit Entertainment is a movie that I wanted to see because I love musicals. You guys know that. Bye Bye Birdie, West Side Story, Rent are some of my favorite ones of all time. And I wanted to see what the newest one had to offer us here, a new modern day version, a new modern day musical, and that is La La Land, here on 4K, Blu-ray, and digital copy combo pack. Of course, this one stars Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, and it's pretty much about Ryan Gosling's character, who's a jazz pianist, and he comes across this young girl, played by Emma Stone, who is an aspiring actress who works at a coffee shop, and it's just them, meeting each other, and what happens along the way, and of course along the way there's dance sequences and musical sequences and different things, but that's all I can really say, because I don't want to ruin anything else for you, but there's also not a whole lot going on in this movie story-wise. But I do love the opening sequence to this film when they're on the LA freeway, dancing and singing, and it only feels like they only had a couple of cuts and stuff like that. A couple of the musical sequences in this film were actually really good, because they kind of felt like old school Hollywood, like I was watching like Singing in the Rain, like movies like that from that time period when I was watching this, which I thought was cool. But it also didn't have that same feeling or vibe as like some of the real classic musicals, some of the really good musicals of yesteryear. You know what I mean? Like I was going into this thinking it was gonna be like all just like musical from head to toe and everything like that, but it was just sort of there. You know what I mean? Like since I've been in been in and around watching musicals and plays for my entire life, like I was expecting a lot more from this. I don't know what. It was not a bad movie whatsoever. It just wasn't it just wasn't as good as I thought it could have been, in my opinion. But on this 4K Blu-ray right here, and Blu-ray, you get a whole bunch of special features on here. Making of featurette where they talk about how they had to close down an LA freeway to do the opening number of the film. Of course, interviews with the cast and crew members. Man, it's just a bunch of stuff that I think a lot of you guys out there will like if you guys are into special features. But as a musical, I don't know, man. I can't lie. I've seen better. And next up over here from Anchor Bay is another film that I was really anticipating because I used to work at this company that this movie is based on. It stars Michael Keaton, and it's called The Founder, here on Blu-ray, DVD, digital copy combo pack right here. And it's about the founder, Ray Kroc, the guy who founded McDonald's. Well, he didn't actually found it. These two brothers did, and had, like a one-off, kind of store. And how Ray Kroc, played by Michael Keaton, comes in as like a, what's it called? Like a shake machine salesman that's coming in there trying to sell like a shake mixer, two different locations and things. And he sees this place called McDonald's, and he goes, it tastes good, it's cheap, and I like the way these guys work, and he works his magic to make McDonald's into what it is today. And some people may consider him a douchebag asshole, and some other people might just consider him a really good businessman. It's up to you to decide what you think by watching the story, because I didn't really know anything about McDonald's and how it came to be and all that kind of stuff. And I just found it kind of interesting, watching it and finding out how it all came from these two brothers and how it became like a big multi-million-dollar corporation. It's just really crazy. And I think Michael Keaton played did a very good job in this film. You also get a handful of other well-known actors in here. Like, I have to look at the back because I'm slow. Linda Cardellini from Freaks and Geeks is up in here. Nick Offerman. You get a really decent cast in this film right here. And you also get a handful of behind-the-scenes special featurettes with the cast and crew talking about the making of the film. And there's like a little history on McDonald's as a special featurette on here. And some press conference footage, which I thought was kind of cool, to be honest. And my favorite movie based on McDonald's, I gotta say, still is and will always be Super Size Me, the documentary that Morgan Spurlock did a handful of years ago. But yeah, The Founder, I thought it was cool, man. Michael Keaton's always awesome, and he is and will always be Batman. And next up over here from Anchor Bay also is a film I didn't really know anything about until like recently. Then it, when it over the last couple months, people kept talking about it, like, Brendan, have you seen it? Brendan, have you seen it? And I'm like, no. And I just got the Blu-ray, and it stars Dave Patel and Nicole Kidman, and that is the movie Lion. And this one right here is pretty much about this this young boy played by Dave Patel. When he was young, he gets lost from his brother and mother at the beginning of this movie, and gets adopted by this Australian family because he gets lost in the system and stuff like that, and gets adopted by this family. And when Dave Patel's older, he's going like, he's having these like nightmares and dreams about like his brother and his family and like what happened to them and what he can do. And he goes on this mission to try to reconnect with his family, try to find out where his missing relatives are. And it's just a really beautifully told movie. It looks really, really spectacular, really wonderfully acted in this film. I really like Dave Patel ever since Slumdog Millionaire. I just think he's a really talented actor, and I hope he does a lot more work in the future, to be honest. And on this Blu-ray right here, you get some deleted scenes, a behind-the-scenes gallery with some interviews with the cast and crew. I just thought this movie was lovely. And these next two up over here are from Viavion, and this movie, at least the first one up right here, is a movie that when I first watched as a kid and on VHS, I was just like, whoa! This movie blew my mind when I first saw this one back in the day. And I can't believe it's been 20 years since this movie's been released. And that is the 20th anniversary of Cube here on Blu-ray, man. This movie's been released once before on Blu-ray. This is also a Region B release, so if you have to have an all-region player to play this one. If you guys have a US player, but make sure you have to have an all-region player to play this one right here. But this one right here is pretty much about a group of people who wake up, in this weird colored cube, place. and they all don't know what the hell they're there for and what the hell is going on. But they have to open each little door and go into each little room and hope to God they don't die from some weird little trap or mechanism that can set off and kill them, or like take their face off or bust them in a million pieces and all that kind of stuff. And it's just them trying to figure out how they're good, why they're there, and how to get the hell up out of there. And also, Viavision released Cube Zero, which was the third one in the franchise. Cube 2, I don't know why that one's not on Blu-ray yet, but hopefully sometime soon. But in Cube Zero, you get you know, of course, a different cast of characters put in the same situation and them trying to, you know, fight their way out of the cube. But in Cube Zero, you get to see a little bit more of behind the cube and, like, you know, why people are there and how they got there and how, you know, you get to see a little bit more going on story-wise when it comes to Cube than you did in the first one here. But it's just really cool to finally get the Cube movies out now on Blu-ray, because this is, of course, the first one is this 20th anniversary edition, and it comes with an audio commentary by the cast and crew, and you get an interview in here with Nicole DeBurr, and it's just a real short 2-minute interview, but it is what it is. But the Blu-ray quality, it looks pretty damn cool. I hope one day we get like a 4K transfer of this, because this movie's dope, especially the opening of it. If you guys ever seen it, it's just that one guy that wakes up in the cube and he's trying to figure out what he's doing, and then BAP! And then, you know, something happens. If you have never seen it before, you know what I'm talking about. It's just one of those, awesome sequences. And on this one right here, on Cube Zero, you get an audio commentary track by the director and an inside making of the box, the making of Cube, and a music video, which I thought was kind of cool. And for you guys who don't know, Cube is kind of like Saw in a way. I think Saw. The movie Saw took from this movie and just, you know, made Saw their own. You know what I mean? It's about people getting into traps and they're getting messed up. It's kind of sort of the same thing as Saw, but a little bit cooler in my opinion. I don't know. I love the Cube movies. Make sure you guys check them out on viavion.com. And the next up is from the same company, and it's something I just had to get my hands on because I have all the other ones. I have all Kevin Smith movies except for this, and this is Jay and Silent Bob Go Down Under. This is, of course, a 2-disc DVD set of Jay and Silent Bob doing their podcast live in Australia. And if you guys don't know, Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, it's just a podcast that they do, and they talk about you know, Jason Mewes and his trying to stay sober after all these years, and they just go on stage and talk about stories, sex stories, crazy stupid stories, and stuff like that. And in here you get three live podcast performances of Jay and Silent Bob Get Old that they did in Australia, plus a couple of extra bonus features like Kevin's journal along the way and some Kevin's tweets and stuff. But this is actually a really cool DVD set featuring 3 shows. So if you guys love Jay and Silent Bob, make sure you guys check out Viavision's website to get your hands on this right here. Pretty fun stuff. And the next one up over here from Sony Home Entertainment stars The Miz, and that is the Marine 5 Battleground. Of course, this is the new Marine movie in the franchise, and the third, I believe, the Marine movie starring The Miz in it. And now The Miz, in this one, he's an EMT now. He's not really a Marine anymore. Or he is a Marine, but he's not, you know, an active Marine. Now he's an EMT going around, you know, resuscitating people in ambulances and trying to save people's lives and things. Until he gets a call. Him and his partner get a call to go down to this amusement park in this, you know, abandoned parking lot. And because someone's having a heart attack, and they go down there to save this guy, and they get caught up in this whole mess with these, you know, gang of biker guys going down there trying to hunt down this one guy that's having this heart attack and kill him. And they get caught up in this mess, and this is them stuck in this, you know, whole parking structure of this whole, you know, theme park that they're in, and trying to get up out of the mess that they're in. I found this movie just to be kind of generic and a generic action film. This is kind of something that you would see like in the mid-90s, you know, like a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, like a straight-to-DVD kind of, you know, kind of thing, but not as cool as an old-school Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, if you know what I mean. Like, the action's kind of okay. I mean, it's nicely paced, but it's just kind of like, blah. kind of movie, like one of those ones you would just grab at a red box, rent it, and return it the next day, kind of thing. But you also get a lot of different wrestlers in this one. A lot of wrestlers of today that I don't even really know, because I watched one of the special features on here talking about all the different wrestlers that are part of WWE that are in this movie. Ones that, like I said, I don't know. No Undertaker, no Shawn Michaels, no Big Show, none of the people that I know. But it's just kind of cool knowing that the Mrs. Wife is has a quick scene in here, with her husband and stuff. But if you're a fan of the Marine movies, it's all this, pretty much the same. If you like the other ones, you might like this one too. And last but not least, over here from Well USA is a movie starring J.K. Simmons and Sarah Silverman, and that is called Punching Henry, here on Blu-ray. It's pretty much about this struggling comedian guy who goes around, goes to different random clubs, performs stand-up comedy, plus he's like a musician and things. He's kind of struggling and trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life. And so a guy from LA, a producer guy played by J.K. Simmons, comes up to him and says, "Hey, I want you to come on down to LA. I want you to audition for me, and I want you to have your own reality TV show." And it's what happens when this guy that has really nothing and wants to do something with himself comes to terms with this. And does he want to sell out? Does he really want to do what J.K. Simmons wants him to do? Like does he have morals? Is he gonna like? You know what I mean? It's pretty much that kind of thing. And of course, Sarah Silverman's in here playing a radio host that's interviewing Henry here, just asking him questions about his career and things, and it flashes back and forth to what happened in his life. I thought it was pretty decent for what it was. It's one of those movies I don't think I'm ever going to need to watch again, to be honest. But you get some deleted scenes up on here, the theatrical trailer, and a little bit of behind-the-scenes featurettes on here. So if you're a fan of Sarah Silverman, you might like this movie, but it's nothing super special in my opinion. But yeah, guys, that's all I have to talk to you guys about today for this Blu-ray DVD update video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you guys enjoy my videos whatsoever, and I'll see you guys all on the next one. Bye-bye.